I'm going to be comparing the Lightfast ratings on 4 of the most popular colored pencil brands. The results may surprise you. Hi, Shanna Rowe Jackson here, and today I am going to compare some of the most popular colored pencil lines as far as, I'm going to compare them for the Lightfast ratings. Sorry about the camera adjustment. So, if you are a colored pencil enthusiast, you likely already know that the Caran-D'Ache Luminance line is the most Lightfast line of colored pencils on the market, so I'm not going to compare them today because we already know that they blow the others out of the water. But I am going to compare 4 lines that are kind of similar to each other, a little bit similar in price range, and tend to be 4 of the more popular lines out there. And I think that some of the results, at least, they surprised me, and I think that they might surprise you as well. I'm sure that you all already have an opinion on which one is going to be the least Lightfast, and which one's going to be the most Lightfast, and which one's going to be more worth the money, and which one isn't. So I'm hoping that this information will help in making decisions as far as what lines of colored pencils you might like to invest in down the line. So the 4 that I am going to compare are the Faber-Castell Polychromos, the Prismacolor Premier, the Karen-Pablo Pablo, and the Derwent Color Soft. I am basing my information on Lightfast ratings provided by some of the companies, as well as Lightfast ratings provided by the Colored Pencil Society of America. I am not doing a breakdown of individual colors from each line and the Lightfast ratings that way. This is more of an overview of the percentage of Lightfast colors in each line and comparing them to each other. If you do ever want to see the Lightfast ratings of each color in each line, I suggest that you join the Colored Pencil Society of America. They do their own testing. I trust their testing because they're an organization that is for colored pencil artists. Some lines are not always forthcoming with their colored pencil ratings, their colored pencil Lightfast ratings, I should say, and some lines aren't always great about even doing testing. So I'm basing this more on the results that the Colored Pencil Society of America has come up with, even though I did factor in some of the line's own colored pencil Lightfast ratings. So I'm going to put a link for the Colored Pencil Society of America in the description if you want to join the Colored Pencil Society of America. They pretty much set the standard for colored pencil art as far as professionalism goes, and they also, like I said, they conduct their own testing. They also have contests. It's really just a great organization to be a part of. Also, I'd like to mention that any prices that I mention in this video are based off of the prices at Jerry's Artorama. I will link them in the description as well. I should also mention that this particular video is not sponsored in any way by any of the companies mentioned here. This is all my own findings, my own calculations on the information that I have researched amongst all these companies. So, I'm going to also, because I have such horrible handwriting, I will also link this as a blog post. Sorry, that's a lot of information to take in all at once, but my blog post will be also linked in the description. All this information will be typed up nice and neatly for you and much easier to read, and it could be used, bookmarked, for reference later. Okay, so now I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the Faber-Castell Polychromos first. This is a very popular line amongst most artists. It's one of my favorites. And I'm going to give you the breakdown. So this line has 120 colors in all. And I should mention that whenever Lightfast ratings are done, they usually come out with some pencils that are considered highly Lightfast, which means very little chance of them fading over time. Some that are considered okay or acceptable Lightfast. That means that they are Lightfast, but they may fade over time. There's a small chance of them fading over time. And then some that are fugitive, which pretty much means they are going to fade. They are not going to last. So I'm breaking this down. I'm breaking each line down by how many are in each line, how many of that line are acceptable, how many are fugitive, and how many are highly Lightfast, which would be the best. So, Polychromos have 120 in their line. They have only 3 that are rated acceptable, which means they are Lightfast, but may fade over time. And they have only 14 that are rated fugitive, which is pretty good. That means that if you only want the highest Lightfast out of that line, you still have 103 pencils to work with. So 103 out of 120 isn't too bad. If you want to still use the acceptable line, along with the highly Lightfast, then that means you still have 106 usable pencils in that line. So the breakdown for a percentage there is that 86% of the line is highly Lightfast. 86% of the entire Faber-Castell Polychromos line is highly Lightfast, and about 88% of it is usable if you decide you also want to use the acceptable. So that's not bad, right? Pretty good. Okay, so the Prismacolor Premiers. I'm sure you are all very excited about this one. So, the Prismacolor Premier has 150 in its full line. Of those, 8 are rated acceptable and 40 are fugitive. That means that 102 are highly Lightfast. Now, that sounds pretty bad, right? Because you're going to have to throw out 48 pencils. But remember, Faber-Castell Polychromos only have 103 highly Lightfast, and Prismacolor Premier has 102. That's only one less highly Lightfast pencil than the Polychromos. I found that really, really surprising. So, yes, you are throwing out more. However, you end up with almost as much highly Lightfast pencils as you would from the Polychromos line. It's crazy. I would have never even thought that. So that means that 68% of this line is highly Lightfast. If you want to use the fugitive pencils, which remember that's quite a bit, that's 40, then that means that 73% of the whole set is usable. That's 110 usable pencils from that line if you are also using the acceptable, which is 4 more than the Polychromos. Now, I know what you're all going to say. That doesn't mean that they're better pencils because there's, bad quality control. Yes, and I understand that, but I just found this very surprising because word around the net is that the Prismacolor Premier are not very Lightfast, when in actuality, if you want to use the acceptable Lightfast along with the highly Lightfast, then you're getting just as much, if not more, than you would in the Polychromos line. And again, I found that very surprising. On Lightfast alone, again, I'm not going with quality control because we all know how that's been lately. Okay, so now I am going to move on to the Karen-Pablo, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit because this is a little bit lighter. Hopefully it'll focus. Maybe not. Sorry about that. And more surprises to come. Karen-Pablos are made by the same company as the Luminants, which are the most Lightfast colors on the line. Colored pencil line on the market. Man, whew, I'm full of it today, I tell you. Okay, so Karen-Pablos have 120 in their full line. Of those, 43 are rated as acceptable, and 35 are rated as fugitive. That's quite a lot, really. That means that only 42 of the 120 are considered Lightfast. Highly Lightfast, I should say. That is 60 less than Prismacolor and 61 less than Polychromos. That's crazy. That is crazy. I would have never thought it. So that means that only 35% of that line is highly Lightfast. 70%, around almost 70%, well, about 65%, something like that, is not. That's crazy. How is it that only 35% of those 120? So, if you want to add in the acceptable, that would give you about 71% of the whole line being usable. So that's not as bad. That is 85 pencils that is usable. only 85 of the 120. This was very surprising considering the fact that this company is the same company that makes the luminance. I can't believe that they're so far behind Prismacolor and Polychromos. I really can't. Just wait till we get to the prices. That'll be interesting too. So the next one I'm going to do is the Derwent Color Soft. Let me adjust that. Okay, so now we're on to the Derwent Color Soft. We have to keep in mind with this one that there are only 72 pencils in the line. That is 78 less than Prismacolor and 48 less than Pablo and Polychromos. Okay, so out of the 72, 4 of them are rated acceptable and 12 are rated fugitive. So that means 56 out of the 72 are Lightfast. And I found that, or highly Lightfast, I should say. And I find that very interesting considering that even though there is so much less in this line than there is in the Pablo, there are still more highly Lightfast colored pencils in this line than there is in the Pablos. Because the Pablo only had 42 highly Lightfast. So that's something to keep in mind when looking into buying this. That means that 78% of this line is highly Lightfast. If you want to use the acceptable and the highly Lightfast, then that means that about 83% of this whole set is usable. That gives us 60. Oh, I'm writing on the wrong side here. It's hard viewing it through the camera. 60 out of the 72 pencils are usable. So that's not too bad, really, considering how many pencils there are in that line. And I'm still, like, totally stumped by the fact that they have more highly Lightfast pencils than the Pablos, when the Pablos have so many more pencils in their line. Surprising stuff all around. Okay, so now let's get down to the pricing. For a full set, tin, I should say, the tin set, not the wooden box set, because that's always more pricey. For the full set of Polychromos, at Jerry's Artorama right now, you're going to spend about $193.50. So if you break that down per pencil in the whole set, that's going to be $1.61 per pencil. Now, if you only want to use, say you only want to use the Lightfast and acceptable, the highly Lightfast and acceptable pencils, and you want to throw out the fugitive ones, that would break down to you spending, if you bought the whole set and threw out the fugitive ones, that would be about $1.83 per pencil, per usable pencil. Now, if you wanted to get really picky and throw out the acceptable pencils as well and only use the highly Lightfast, that would be about $1.88 per highly Lightfast pencil. So that's what you are spending per pencil if you buy the set and throw out the fugitive and the acceptable pencils. Sorry, it's very blurry. Again, this is all on my blog and it's much neater. However, the open stock price is about $1. Again, this is at Jerry's Artorama, $1.69 each. So really, it may be cheaper to buy open stock if you are only buying the highly Lightfast and even the acceptable rated colors, because it's much cheaper that way. Okay, so now on to the Prismacolor Premier. So right now, the Prismacolor Premier set goes for $69.99 at Jerry's. But their list price is about $151.19. Now, I don't know how permanent the $69.99 price is. I know they've been really cheap lately. So I'm going to give you the breakdown for both prices for the full set. So at the $69.99 set, and that's the tin set of 150. Sorry, the TN set. You are paying 47 cents per pencil. That's if you use all the pencils. That is 64 cents if using, I'll say usable pencils. Pencils, yeah. I'm making my own words, yay! Usable pencils. That's if you are using the highly Lightfast and acceptable rated pencils. You're paying 64 cents a piece. Now, if you only want to use the Lightfast pencils and you buy the whole set of 150, you are paying 69 cents per highly Lightfast pencil. So that means that if you throw out everything but the Lightfast, which would still give you 102 pencils, only one less than the Polychromos line, you're only paying 69 cents per the highest Lightfast pencil. So if you do get the set right now while it's on sale, which I believe, I'm really starting to think that that's what they are keeping it at, because I've been seeing that price a lot lately. You're getting a heck of a deal because the open stock prices have not gone down, and they are $1.29 each. Now, however, if the price does go back up, I'm going to have to move my paper so I have more room. If the price does go back up on the Prismacolor Premier, that's going to look something like this. So the full price, or the list price on Jerry's, is at $151.19, which really still isn't very bad for 150 pencils. That breaks down to about $1.01 per pencil. Now, if you want to use both the highly Lightfast and the acceptable, that is going to be $1.37 per usable pencil. And if you want to only use the highly Lightfast, that is going to be $1.48 per pencil, which is still about 40 cents cheaper. About 20 cents cheaper than if you were to buy the Polychromos. However, it is more expensive if you're buying the set at full price to buy them this way if you only plan on using the highly Lightfast or acceptable, because open stock, again, is $1.29. So if for some reason the prices on the set goes back up, it would be much cheaper for you to buy your Prismacolor Premier Lightfast pencils open stock. Okay, so now moving on to, let's see if I can get this to look good. The prices on the Pablos. This is very exciting. Full tin set of 120 is about $244.99 at Jerry's right now. And that is not the list price, that is the Jerry's Artarama cheaper price. That breaks down to $2.04 per pencil if you were going to use them all. However, if you want to weed out only the fugitive and use the acceptable and highly Lightfast, you will be spending $2.88 per usable pencil. Now, if you only want to use the most highly Lightfast of this line and you buy the set and throw out the rest, you are going to be essentially spending $5.83 per highly Lightfast pencil. So that's, you get the set and you throw out everything that's not highly Lightfast. Essentially, you're spending $5.83 per pencil. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The open stock price on those is $2.49. So it's definitely cheaper to buy open stock if you were looking to get highly Lightfast and acceptable Lightfast ratings. Again, all this info will be on my blog. All right, now we're down to the Derwent Color Soft. full price, or I should say full tin set, Jerry's price is $109.19. That breaks down to about $1.51 per pencil and set. That is, if you throw out all the fugitive pencils and only want to use the acceptable and highly Lightfast, that is about $1.82 per pencil, per usable pencil. And if you only want to use the most highest Lightfast in that line and throw out all the rest, you are spending about $1.95 per pencil if you buy the set. Their open stock price is $1.46. Which means whether you are buying only Lightfast or not, it's always cheaper to buy open stock Color Soft pencils than it is to buy the set. At least through Jerry's. Now this was just a little experiment of mine. Like I said, I use Jerry's because it's my favorite. However, I usually find cheaper prices on Jerry's than I do even on Amazon, so that's why I go through them. But this was more of an experiment for myself because I was thinking about buying the Pablo line, and now I'm definitely not going to buy Pablos. And I thought that it might be helpful for other people because I have gone through the sets that I have, and I have had to throw out much of my pencils. So I just want to share with you a few of the notes that I wrote for myself. And again, this will also be on my blog. Things that I took away from this that I found surprising was that the Prismacolor seems to have a very bad reputation for Lightfast ratings. However, technically, it only has one less highly Lightfast pencil than Polychromos and 4 more acceptable rated pencils. And it comes out leagues ahead of Pablo's and Color Soft. However, again, this does not negate any problems that Prismacolor has as far as Lightfast goes. The Pablo line has the least amount of highly Lightfast rated colors of all 4 lines, which is surprising, again, considering it is made by the same makers as the Luminance, and also because it has 48 more colors in its line than Derwent Color Soft, yet they have less Lightfast colors than, or highly Lightfast colors than the Color Soft. When factoring in Lightfast ratings, the best bang for your buck, especially when it's on sale, are the Prismacolors. However, the Polychromos are really not that much more expensive, and you technically throw out less, but you get more pencils that you can use if you're going to use the acceptable rated ones from Prismacolor. So really, you get the most out of Prismacolor as far as the amount of colors you can use if you want to also use the acceptable line. The Color Soft line offers less colors in general. However, the percentage of acceptable to highly Lightfast pencils in the line is quite high at 83% being usable, coming in second only to Polychromos as far as percentage of usable pencils within a line goes. That being said, as I mentioned before, as far as the actual number of usable pencils in a line, Prismacolor has the most, usable again being acceptable and highly Lightfast rated pencils. So it's just interesting to compare them all, and I'm sure you can all do your own comparisons as well. I hope that this information helps you when it comes to deciding on new colored pencils. I know it's definitely going to help me. Thank you.